dupes on 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 dupes. Hey love, so today we're going to do the Subculture Dupe video. I have a few. I feel like this escalated really quickly. There was like one that I thought was a dupe and then like all these other ones dropped. I have the Subculture palette right here from Anastasia and I haven't even used it, not even once. I don't have really any personal opinions about it. Of course, I have heard the issues with blending, the issues with it looking muddy, all of those things. So I don't know what to expect. I'm a little nervous. I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm up for it. I have no idea what really look I want to do, so we're just gonna kind of check these out. So of course there is the original one, so this one's gonna go on one of the eyes, and then I'm gonna look at all of these and decide which one is going to go on the other eye. So I have two from Makeup Revolution. This is the one, the mint chocolate palette, that I originally thought was a good dupe, but it looks like a lot of the finishes aren't the same, so we probably won't use this one, but I will show it to you as an option for something that is similar and more affordable. Then the other two we have is this one that just dropped. This is probably the least expensive. So this one's Makeup Revolution Reloaded Iconic Division Palette, and then this one is this is from Hush. It's Bad Habit Retro Love 14 color eyeshadow collection. But yeah, I'm gonna pop these all open and kind of compare them. I of course already have foundation and brows. I have a bad brow day, which is pretty much every day of my life, so don't mind those. This palette is beautiful. When I first saw it, I was like, and heard all the drama about it, I was like, I probably don't need it because of everything that I had heard. But look at that palette. It's just it's so gorgeous. Something about those shades just, it speaks to me. It just does. First of all, this one wins for packaging alone. So if you just want something that's kind of similar, I love these chocolate palettes. But see, you can see how I would think that was a dupe, right? Just by seeing it on the website and just seeing pictures. I see now that a lot of the finishes are different. There's a lot more shimmers in the Makeup Revolution mint chocolate palette than there are in the Anastasia Subculture palette, but that's just my 2 cents. The shades are similar, the finishes are not. But if you don't care about finishes and you just want something with those type of colors, then there you go. Reloaded Iconic Division Palette from Makeup Revolution. So I feel like that one's gonna be a really good dupe. I'm loving these Reloaded palettes. That's the Retro Love Bad Habit palette. The Retro Love looks like a little bit darker. I don't know. I'll try and swatch them all and insert that in the video as well. Oh, I'm so torn on which one to use. I'm gonna use the Retro Love one. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do something different and not do a Makeup Revolution one because that's all you guys have been getting lately. So we're gonna use the Retro Love palette and the Subculture palette. So I'm gonna bring you in a little closer. We're gonna get started. I think we're gonna start with New Wave. I'm gonna do Anastasia on this eye and then, oh my, okay, so this is the Anastasia eye. Blend that out. Girl. I am going to wipe off my brush and now we're gonna go into the Retro Love palette and it looks like Fab right here is the dupe of that one. Okay, so not quite as pigmented. That isn't necessarily a bad thing. We're gonna highlight the brow bone with Cube on this eye. Then we're gonna use Psychedelic on the other eye, which is this one right here. Whew, Psychedelic actually packs a little more of a punch. So that one's a little more duochrome than the Anastasia one. I'm gonna go back in with the Anastasia one Cube and add a little extra to try and make it even. So for the first shade, Anastasia one with the more pigmented, and then on the second one, the Retro Love palette one. I really want to use this Axis shade. That's like, oh, girl. I have small lids, so I'm gonna start small with a little tiny brush and just start, God, it's so pigmented, like you barely tap it, and that's the only downfall is it's gonna get all over me, and I'm definitely wearing a white shirt, so I need to be careful. Definitely tap off your brush. I'm just gonna place this on the outer corner. So again, this is the Anastasia one. This is Axis. So much pigment. I'm really just kind of placing it right now, and then I will go back and blend it. I'm gonna probably regret this because I hate having darkness in my inner corner, but let's go for it. I'm gonna kind of connect those two just ever so lightly. I'm just gonna use this little shadow brush. I think it's from Coastal Scents, I don't know, to blend it. I want to keep it really central. Like, I know this is kind of a silly brush to blend with. It's not a blending brush. You can blend with anything though. I'm not good at following rules. This really allows me to get in my inner corner right here, so that's why I kind of like to blend with it sometimes. And I want it to go up a little more in the middle. Now I have like a total connection. Wow. I'm gonna have to blend for a minute. It's the only thing when like shadows are this pigmented, sometimes they just go on and stick. I feel like I'm gonna have to really work with this to keep the pigment and to blend it. The dupe is Free Love, which is over here. So we're gonna do that one. You get some kick up. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that a little bit, or kick back. I don't know what you wanna call it. Kick up, kick back. But it's not as bad. So we're just gonna tap that in. And again, the pigment's not as great, so I think that's the trade-off with this palette. I'm wondering if it's gonna blend better because there's less pigment and be less powdery because it's less pigmented. That's your trade-off. It's really, it just comes down to personal preference. This one looks slightly more green-based and then the Anastasia one, which seems a little more teal-y blue. I feel like this one's a little easier to work with, but again, it's a trade-off for the pigment. I might as well start my bottom lash line with the Retro Love since my brush already has, this tiny brush already has the Free Love shade on it. Pull that down. Wiping off my little brush, taking Axis, just putting it right on that outer corner. And of course, I'm obsessed with electric. So I think I want to use electric. Whoop, right there. And of course I'm gonna wet my brush too. Use a little bit of this and spray the brush. Electric. Okay, and in the Retro Love palette, it's Icon. This guy. Boop. Ooh, I'm gonna put a little bit of that green on the under eye. Going back with electric. I feel like electric doesn't pick up as easy as the Shop Hush one does. What do you guys think? Can you tell? Because I think this is all I'm gonna do for the shadow look right now. I probably am going to put a little bit of Cube and Psychedelic, I believe. That white shade on the inner corners. So I'll do that really quick. Actually, I think I want it to really pop. So I'm gonna use a tiny bit of Liquid Luminous Luna from Makeup Revolution. Pack it on. Wiping off my brush. Now Psychedelic. Alright, that's where we're at. I think I'm gonna do a wing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the wing really quick. You can watch. I'm gonna fast forward it. Okay, I'm gonna go put on some mascara really quick and be right back. All right, so I have a little bit of mascara on. I'm gonna pop some lashes on. These ones are from Shop Miss A. They're AOA Studio Luella. Look at those. Isn't that insane? These were $1. $1. And I just wanted you guys to see how like fluffy and raisin these are for $1. Look at those. $1. All right, love, so I went ahead and put on the lashes and I did my contour and highlight. If you are interested, it's just the Makeup Revolution Iconic Lights and Contour Pro palette. And then the Makeup Revolution Pro Lights in Peach Champagne. So that's what's on my face. I should have put on my lip before I came back. I'm gonna do that. All right, love, so there we go. There's the completed look. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's a dupe? We will get into swatching some of these shades to see how close they are and which one is actually the best dupe. I feel like this did really well. really well. I feel like I like the look of the Anastasia. I just like this much more. I don't know what it is. But honestly, for the price difference, I think it's like $42 versus like $10. So that is a huge price difference. This one's literally a fourth of the price. Super close. All right, so I'm gonna bring you out a little bit and we're gonna swatch some of these just so you can see them side by side in an actual swatch. But I do feel like this speaks volumes on the eye. Pretty impressed. Let's get to swatching these. So I'm gonna swatch all of them. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go shade by shade in the Modern Renaissance palette and swatch all the dupes next to it. So we're just gonna do one shade, swatch them all, compare them, start on the next shade. So let me get these all out. I'll even do the mint chocolate palette, even though I know the finishes are gonna be different, but just so you can see the actual difference. So we're just gonna, again, go shade by shade. So we're gonna start in the Subculture palette. It's gonna take a while. So if you're not interested, feel free to leave, it's okay. So we're starting with Cube. So we're gonna do Subculture, Retro Love, Reloaded Iconic Division, and then the mint chocolate palette. The psychedelic, it feels softer, but I don't know if you can see there's like a little powdery pieces. I feel like the Anastasia one is more compact. Those are really gonna be really hard to see. Same thing. A little more texture to it, but really those all look literally the same. There is not really a dupe in the mint chocolate. Dawn, Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division, mint chocolate palette. I think that the Anastasia one is the most pigmented, but really they're all very, very similar. We're gonna do Destiny. Okay, so mint chocolate did not have a dupe, so we have the Anastasia one starting here, the Retro Love, and Iconic Division. The next shade in the palette is Adorn, which is the kind of coppery metallic shade. Okay, so again, similar in the mint chocolate palette, but not a dupe. So we have, but these three are definitely dupes. Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division, mint chocolate chip. So, All-Star, which is that burgundy shade in the palette. So much pigment in this Anastasia palette, so much pigment. Okay, so you can see on here that the Anastasia one is definitely the darkest. So we have Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division, mint chocolate chip. So mint chocolate chip is a little more red. Okay, so you can see, so the ones in the pan that look the most similar in the mint chocolate chip one is a different finish, so it's much more reflective. In the pan and like in a picture, they look like a very similar tone, but the finish is completely different. So we have Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division, mint chip. Axis, which is my favorite shade in the entire palette. We're gonna swatch down here. Okay, so we have Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division, and mint chip. So again, the mint chip one looks similar in the pan. There's also, I think this one's supposed to be the more similar one, but it's a completely different finish again. So, okay, so that's one whole row. We're on to the second row, which starts with Roxy, which is the peachy shade, peachy orange, boom. There's not a mint chip dupe, so there we go. Again, we have Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division palette. Looks like a dupe to me. Now we have Electric, another one of my favorite shades in the palette. I have it on my lid right now. It's lime green and glittery. Again, Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division. Very, very close. Next we have Fudge, which is a favorite Anastasia shade of mine. So pigmented, Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division, and mint chip palette. So that one does have a dupe. Things. Okay, so next we have New Wave, which I do have right up here. Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division. The Anastasia one is definitely the most pigmented of the three, but I feel like you could build up the other ones to get a very similar look, and I can't really tell a difference just looking at the transition shade on my eye. So next we have Untamed, which is kind of the green shade, and here we go. So we have Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division, and the mint chip one, which again is another one that the finish is different. But in a picture, again, it would look the same, but completely different. We're almost there. Okay, now we have Edge, which is the mustard yellow, which I had originally planned to use on my eye, but I didn't get there. Anastasia, Retro Love, those two are identical. Iconic Division, very, very, very close. And then Mint Chip, again, different finish. Okay, we're on to the last one, which is Rowdy. Okay, sorry it's so far down my arm, but we have Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division, Mint Chip. And then, so on price points, the Anastasia is most expensive. And then I think that the mint chocolate one, if you're in the US anyway, then the mint chocolate one, then the Bad Habit Retro Love, and then the Division palette. So really, this is honestly probably your best bet if you just are kind of want to test it. They are pretty bold shades. They aren't, I mean, some people would wear these shades every day. This isn't a palette that I would necessarily reach for every day. I could get an everyday look out of this palette, but it is a little edgy, it is a little different, it is a little just trendy, I guess is the right word for it. You can be crazy like me and buy them all. I haven't tried this one on my eyes yet, so I'm not sure how this compares to the Anastasia one on my eyes. The Anastasia one, I liked it. Maybe my expectations were so low because everyone was saying so many terrible things about it, but as you can see with a lot of these, they're very, very similar. So I don't know, dupes on dupes on dupes. Do you guys know of any other Subculture dupes? Leave them down below so people can know what to look for. Let me know what kind of dupe tutorial or dupe video that you want to see next, and I will do my best to do that for you. Let me know what you want to see. I'll do my best. Yeah, I think that's everything. I should still have a Makeup Revolution giveaway going on my channel, so definitely check that out. It's in my last Makeup Revolution haul. If you want to enter, just go leave a comment, and yeah, the rules are all in that video. But anyway, I think that's it. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. So I have some look, I have my nails done today. Are you guys proud? So this one is the Reloaded. Whoa, there it goes. Curious on my final thoughts. Okay, so I'm gonna do makeup. Wait, but holy, I just barely even touched it. Barely even touched it. Should I just leave it like that? The magic of this is gonna be blend, 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 blend. Those are super similar. Wow. Oh, I swiped it on my shirt. Dang, like look at that. Bam. Girl. Girl. I swatched the wrong one. Now we have Electric, which is another one. Excuse me. Okay, so we have Anastasia, Retro Love, Iconic Division. I did that backwards. You can't see, but I totally have eyeshadow all over my shirt. Whoo, look at that pigment from that Retro Love. Girl.